What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to The Long Dark. My name is Splattercat, and I am here with the next episode, of course, because I already said that in the beginning half of the sentence, but I decided to say it on the back half of the sentence too, just in case. I don't know, sometimes I like to reiterate. Don't mind me and my iterating. And so in this episode, I'm thinking this is probably going to be our last episode of The Long Dark. I've done some long, hard thinking about it, and I don't mean to use long and hard too aggressively right here, but anyways, I know there's somebody out in the crowd going, giggity, but I think for right now, where the game is at, I think we've just about done everything there is to do. And let me oh, it's minus 13. That's so unpleasant. Alright, well, we'll have a look around for maybe a new hatch for today, but that's about it. I mean, I've scoured almost the entire map at this point. I've hit all of the positions that the bunker should be in, and it's not there. And it is a distinct possibility that we may not get a bunker. And so in this situation, I think we're left with basically just sitting around the house and surviving until we run out of food, and I don't think that's really that compelling of gameplay. I found that I'm having trouble thinking of things to talk about, and so I'm reverting to just talking about nothing while I play the game. And that in and of itself is usually a pretty good sign to me that it's time to move on to something else. And so with the first part of this episode, while we look around and hike up some hills and probably sprain our ankles about 600 more times, I'd like to talk about what may be coming up in the future. Now, I'm pretty sure this series right here is going to be replaced with Lords of the Fallen tomorrow morning. I don't know, actually, I didn't get the game from the developers, so I didn't get it early. I know Christopher Odd got it early and a couple other people got it early. Unfortunately, I was not on that release list, and so I'm going to be recording it all day tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be able to get that done and have it uploaded by the evening in my best case scenario. I don't know if that's how it's going to work out, but at this point, I might just give it like a little test drive too and find that I don't like the game, and if that happens, I'll just be like, well, never mind. Because I was really excited about doing Born in Flame or Bound in Flame or Bound by Flame or something like that. It was an RPG that came out, and then once I played it, I was like, I don't know if I could get away with this one. I don't know if I could get away with this one. My fan base might say that this game is too terrible. And so I ran through it. I beat the game. Bound by Flame it's one of those weird, I don't know, it's one of those weird RPGs that's not polished or like really flashy or shiny, but like it's playable. Like you can beat it the first time, and I don't see you ever playing it again after that, but it might happen. There's a deer over here? When did I do this? God, I am a killing machine. I am so awesome. Every time I walk through the forest, there's like a million dead things everywhere. Shows me that I've been doing my job properly as a survivalist. Gets me feeling all good first thing in the morning, because nothing else is making me feel good first thing in the morning. It is minus 12 degrees right now. You know how hard it is to feel good when it's minus 12 degrees out and you're just walking around? I mean, I'm not in my undies or anything. It could be worse. I figured by this point in the game our clothes would just like rot off of our body, at which point we would be forced to just walk around in the nude all the time, which would be a blast, but we can't look downward at our own legs anyways, so most humorous content that would derive from that situation is probably just sort of emergent. Like I wouldn't be able to like help myself out with props or anything, because prop comedy, everybody knows nobody hates prop comedy. Carrot Top. I saw Carrot Top. I don't get why Carrot Top gets such a bad rep. Like, I just don't get it. Like, he is such a running punchline in the comedy arena, and I don't understand it, because I watched his Vegas show, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad at all, actually. I mean, he's doing a comedy show in Vegas for a major hotel, which is like what most comedians aspire to, so I don't know. People seem to hate on Carrot Top a lot, but his act wasn't that bad. I thought it was funny. He made me laugh a couple times. Like, yeah, it's goofball humor, but I like goofball humor just as much as anybody else. It's no different than everything Jim Carrey has ever done. I mean, and nobody gives him shit about it. So it's got to be the props. It's got to be the props. I don't know what it is about people in prop comedy, but they hear that. They see a comedian take out props, and then all of a sudden they're just like grumpy. They're like, he designed his own prop. This makes me sad in many different ways. Oh, I'm gonna, that's like, I would jump off this in real life without a second hesitation, but, last episode. There we go. And so it gave me a -1 condition, even though the fall was only like 6 feet. Okay. Did we ever come over here during our playthrough and actually look at this bit? I think we did. I remember standing around the side of it and talking. And seeing as I have memories of talking over this area, I feel like I probably was already here. I don't remember the things that I talk about very much, but every now and again I save like a snapshot in my brain of me in a spot talking, just monologuing into the microphone, and that is definitely one of those spots. I remember crawling around on the logs and seeing if I could find anything up on top of there. Let's see here. But yeah, I think this will probably be replaced by Lords of the Fallen. The game looks like fun. It seems like it'll be pretty cool. I'm hoping I get an email back from the devs about it. I sent it to them, but it's all good. I'll buy it tomorrow morning if it doesn't happen. The other games that I've been looking at, actually, I might do Dead State pretty soon. Dead State is looking like it's starting to flesh out, and I think it's going to be releasing in the next week or two. Like, I'm pretty sure Dead State is getting closer to a release date. It's starting to feel like a game, basically. And so if it's about to come out in a couple months, I'll probably throw down a video series on it pretty soon. I just wanted to make sure. I had a friend of mine that played it on his YouTube channel, and I watched that every now and again back when I was trying to decide whether I wanted to do a series on it or not. And it seemed like it just wasn't at the polish level that I would like. I was the same way about Project Zomboid. Like, I knew about Project Zomboid before I even started LPing, and I had it all booted up. I had Project Zomboid on my hard drive back when the city only had like 3 houses. Like, it was basically a street with 3 or 4 houses on the side that you could just run around in and play around with the different features, but mostly you died within a day or so, just based on the fact that, like, getting sick was bugged and just a bunch of other random stuff happened. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to go back over here. Let's go do that. If I die right now, I'm not even going to care. Not even going to mind. I'll be like, fine, you win, universe, you win. Why is it so cold out today? I feel like we've had a really, really bad string of weather in this game with no real explanation. Like, the sun is out, everything's okay. I don't know. We've had a lot of bad weather, and by bad weather I mean like weather with a nasty little minus sign in the front of it. Weather is always bad when you put a minus sign in the front of it, although I was going to bring the Kelvin scale in, but I think I'll leave it alone for right now. I'm not feeling scientific today. I'm not feeling scientific today. I don't know what it is, but my science sense is not tingling today, and so I've got no science-related humor for you. I wish that I did, but unfortunately, I sprained my ankle again. I hate that feature so very, very much. Let's see here. Oh, good, my last painkiller. Why is that not functioning? Alright, whatever. I didn't want to take a painkiller anyways. I will limp to my next objective, and there's nothing you can do about it. I will be limp when I arrive. Let's go, and it wants me to... I tried to take painkiller. Are they too damaged? Our painkillers are looking extremely dodgy. Nobody wants to take them. This aspirin looks kind of fuzzy. I don't know if this is a good idea. Does aspirin normally come with like this weird little wig type thing on the top of it? I don't know. It tastes kind of like old lettuce. I think I might get more sick by doing this, and then I'll have a limp and a tummy ache. I don't know if I can handle this right now. I hate you, nature. I hate you. How many bullets do we have left, by the way? Like, is there a way for me to see my ammunition without firing my gun? Oh, look, there's a dead guy over on the ground, and I know exactly where we're at. Yes, indeedly doodly, I do. Let's go check that body just to make sure that I didn't screw the pooch here somehow and forget to loot this guy, because if there's a dead body around, naturally I lay claim to it, and so my claim has already been laid over there. Lucky for it, it's puffing on a cigarette and looking satisfied with itself. My claim is having a much better day than I am. And so let's walk up this ravine. Hopefully we can find another spot, and we'll take like a little breather because we're freezing to death and we have a limp. And so I'm hoping we'll be okay. How have my calories gone down so much? I like ate right before I started this episode up to 2,500. Oh well. This is what happens when you trust the game. I think I'm going to go over to there and we'll just rest for a couple hours because I really don't see... I don't see those painkillers being that useful to us. I don't know if they're too damaged or not, like we dropped them or something. They're just like that dropped can of beans at the supermarket. You got to go up to the front and ask if you could get a discount because they're kind of wrecked up, and then they're like, no, you can't get a discount because the can is totally sealed. And you'd be like, well, I feel like because the can is shaped like the letter C that I should get some kind of discount. I should see some kind of discount for this whole thing. I don't feel like I should pay you full price when the can is shaped so this won't sit on a shelf. This thing is it's shaped like a slinky going downstairs. I can't put this on a shelf. It's just gonna lay on its side and take up a bunch of space. Can't you like knock 10 cents off or something? I don't know. I'm not trying to haggle with you right now. I'm not trying to trade you like a goat and a chicken for a can of beans, but you know, I get the feeling it's probably just going to sit on the shelf until you destroy it anyways, because they do that. I used to wait for that. I used to work at Best Buy, and they had the greatest list ever. It was a list of items. I forget what it was called now. It's been so long. They had a list of items that basically were old enough to where they got taken off the shelf, and then employees could buy them for like 5% of their original cost. I got a 32-inch TV for 85 bucks. It was great. It was fantastic. It was the best thing ever. What's in this drawer? What? Did I never come here? Or did I just miss that drawer? I must have just missed that drawer. The things I know we came here really, really early in our playthrough. The locker's fine. Okay. Well, let me see if it'll... Can I take my pills now? No, I cannot. Alright. Well then. Since I cannot take my pills, I suppose that I shall eat a venison. Venison down my throat. Mmm, delicious, delicious. Totally not tired of this meal. It gets better and better every day. Every day I am more excited about the fact that I get to eat more venison. And then I guess we'll rest for a couple hours because my character's a weenie. Glass ankles. You're the Glass Joe. If this was Punch-Out, you would be Glass Joe. Punch-Out was one of those games that I played a lot when I was a kid. Like, Punch-Out, I had a serious problem. I used to get excited at Punch-Out because it used to take me, like, probably a week per character with Punch-Out. I used to play it a lot, and as I recall, there was no continue in Punch-Out. Like, if you lost, you got to try again, and if you lost, you had to go back to the previous person and then try again, and on your third loss, I think it was over. You got kicked out of the league or something like that. And I remember playing Punch-Out a lot when I was a kid. I got pretty far. I don't think I ever beat it, though. I always preferred the NES one to the Super NES one, though. I had a friend who had the Super NES Punch-Out, and I just never liked it quite as much. It never... What the hell was that? Was that a... Why do you have a graveyard in your front yard? Like, do you seriously know this many people? You live in a one-room shack, man. This one says KG on it, so I can only assume that Kyle Gass is dead in this rendition of the world. Poor KG. Whatever will Jack Black do without you? How will he thrash about wildly without your musical accompaniment? How will it occur? It won't. That's what. I just spit on my screen. You'll forgive me for a moment. I noticed like a pixel was flashing multiple colors, and I was like, oh, nope, that's just spittle. Spittle on my screen. It's early in the morning right now. I had Count Chocula, though, so I'm pretty excited about the day to come. It's hard to not be excited about your day when you start out with Count Chocula, which is the greatest seasonal cereal. There's a lot of seasonal cereals, but Count Chocula is king among them. Forget Boo-Berry, forget, you know, what's the other one? There's Boo-Berry, there's Boo-Berry, there's Count Chocula, and there's another one. With like Ghost. No, Ghost is Boo-Berry. They've got, oh, Franken... I don't know. There's another one. There's definitely another one. I'm going to cry if in the last 30 seconds of this episode I find this stupid Prepper Lodge. I hate this thing. This Prepper Lodge is like the bane of my existence. I've spent so long looking for this thing. And the saddest part is that it might not even be here. I might just be snipe hunting. I might be out. You ever get somebody with that? You tell somebody there's snipes out in the forest and you make them go hunt for them? I got a little kid with that one time when I was at summer camp. He walked around the forest forever. It was hilarious. And then we told him, we were like, don't worry about it, man. Everybody goes on a snipe hunt at least once. It's kind of a rite of the outdoors. I've seen older people get gotten by that, though, too. Like 16, 17-year-olds be like, what's a snipe? When you tell them, like, oh, it's like this little bird, but it makes like this noise. But they're really, really dumb. If you make the noise, they'll come down and you can see one. They have like these giant Gila monster type things in the desert where I camp all the time. I don't know what they're called. I just know that it's like this giant iguana thingamadiggy. Like there's snakes, there's scorpions, and there's these enormous lizards out there. And I know that the Native Americans out there used to eat them all the time because it's one of the only things large enough to eat out in the desert. I mean, you can eat bark scorpions. They don't taste very good. They've got kind of like a, I don't know. They've got a flavor which is hard to describe. I guess it's like chewing up a leaf, I guess. I don't really know how else to describe it. It's like a very... It's like some kind of strong vegetable stew or something that hasn't been cooked long enough. Die! No, I'm not going to waste my bullets. What I did want to say about this series is that if I end up playing it on my own, which I probably will, just seeing how long I can drag this out, because I'd love to make it to 50 days. I think I'm going to try and drag this out on my own. I may do an update video to let you know when I die, just give you like the splash screen and finish it off as the final quote-unquote episode. You can't see me making hand gestures for the quote-unquote right now, but I'm totally making hand gestures because it deserves it. I said quote-unquote. Anytime you say quote-unquote, you've got to use two hands. I used to wonder if it was quote-unquote or if it was quote-unquote. That used to always bother me, but I never got around to asking an English teacher, and so now I'm just doomed because I have no educators around me. I'm pretty sure it's quote-unquote, but you know what? I might have been saying it wrong my entire life. These are the things that you think about sometimes late at night, and you just be like, Last night I couldn't get a song stuck out of my head, and I was thinking about it. I hate it when that happens. Oh, it's so upsetting. Like you get a song stuck in your head and it keeps you from sleeping. Oh, I hate that so much. That is the worst type of insomnia right there, is when you go to bed and it's not that you're not tired, it's that that stupid song just plays in your head over and over and over again. You're just like, ah, shut up right now. Shut up right now, TLC. I'm not chasing waterfalls. I'm chasing dreams, trying to fall asleep right now, and this is not time for you. Okay, never mind the fact while I'm thinking about TLC late at night, and even though it's like 2014, that seems like something you would have thought about late at night, maybe 1999, 1998. But in 2014, that definitely means I'm holding on to the past somehow. Is it nighttime already? It's like 4 in the afternoon. Why do I feel like it's dusking on me right now? I feel like the game is about to pack up shop and be like, fine, you're not going to play me anymore. I'm not going to play you anymore. Spontaneous death. Enjoy your bug. Like, oh, that was a very kind video game. Why would you do that? I like this character. This character has become a part of me. He's become attached to me in many different ways. This is just an episode of me walking through the forest. Like, seriously, where is this prepper cat? No, I'm... If you sprain your ankle... If you sprain your ankle... I will be very disappointed with you, and I will probably swear repeatedly. So don't sprain your ankle, I guess, would be the general moral of the story that I'm leaning towards right now. There is a moral here. I'm hoping that you heard it. Don't sprain your ankle, or I will lose my shit. How about that? There's not much we need to take care of. I mean, like, largely the reason that I've decided, I guess I should give you some of my reasoning behind ending the series right here. So I've gotten into the same spot that I was with Project Zomboid, where I feel like I'm just doing the same activities over and over and over again. And that usually is a pretty good sign that it's time to, like, wait for an update to come to the game, or just to let it fly. Just let it go. Let it go. And I know there's going to be somebody out there who's going to make, like, a Frozen reference. Seriously, stop. That movie will never go away if we don't stop referencing it. Like, I was thinking about that the other day, and it amazes me that that movie is still, like, relevant, and people still care about it. It's because people keep quoting it, and then people keep making videos of themselves in their cars, like, singing the songs from it. I thought it was an okay musical, but I didn't think it was as good as, like, The Producers, for example. I mean, there are better musicals, definitely. But then again, at least it proves that musicals aren't dead, I suppose. I do enjoy musicals every now and again. I mean... I would love to go to see one on Broadway or anything. I mean, I don't even need Broadway. I would just go see one at, like, the community theater. It's just that the plays they always do at my community theater near my house, they always suck. Like, all the plays are just like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for that. But if they did Sweeney Todd or something, I'd be down. I'd be down in town and ready to clown. It'd be the greatest. Hell. Prepper Cash. Why? Why, Prepper Cash? I have heard news about what's going to be in the next patch. They're giving us a new food source, they're giving us a new map, and then they're tuning a couple things. Hopefully sprained ankles. I mean, if they don't fix sprained ankles, I will scream to the heavens and be like, why? Because, like, no man in the history of ever has sprained his ankle as much as my character. Like, this guy did not master walking before he went back out in the forest. And you could say that he's carrying a heavy backpack. You could say that. But at the same time, I hike with a heavy backpack all the time, and I've never sprained my ankle, ever. I've almost fallen off a cliff and died, but I've never sprained my ankle. That was horrible. I've almost been struck by lightning about 1.5 million times, too. Lightning has the weirdest... Lightning always shows up when you're out in the middle of nowhere. Like, you will go out on a sunny day in the middle of the desert, and all of a sudden some clouds will roll in and just be like, hey, how about a little 5-minute rainstorm? Does that sound awesome so that you can walk around wet for the rest of the day? And I said, that sounds absolutely... captivating. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it, nature. I dare you. And nature's like, all right, here we go. 5-minute thunderstorm. And you're like, all right, well, I guess I will hug up against the side of the mountain while 40-mile-an-hour winds blow all around me. I will take my hammer and I will throw it off in that direction so that I'm not carrying something metal around with me while it's thunderstorming. And then I will hope that I don't feel the hairs on the back of my neck prick up right before everything suddenly and spastically goes black. I think I wanted to check around the back of this thing right here, because this is the Forgotten Lake, or the Unnamed Lake, or whatever the hell they call it. I know I didn't get a chance to check around the back of that thing as much as I wanted to. Is it almost 4:30? I think we got a little bit of time. We got a couple of minutes. Let's go back over here. The Unnamed Ponda. Oh, there's a wolf over there. It sounded like he was right on the other side of this hill. They got to work on the distances for... Actually, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. My experience when I was out in nature is that things howling feel like they're right on top of you, even though they're probably like a half-mile away. Definitely noticed that while I was out and about. This is the area. I didn't get to search this as well as I wanted to, and so I would like to search this right now, and so that's what I'm going to do. Let's go up here, and we'll search all the way back up in here, and if we end up finding the food cache, it might buy us a few more episodes worth of entertainment as I try and run food from here to there. But if we can't find it, then I think this is indeed going to be the final episode. It's been a good run. We're on like episode 30, so I feel like I gave the game its definite due diligence and chance. How do you sprain your ankle on a flat surface, you idiot? Like, how do you do that? Oh my god, you were the worst. You were just the worst. I can't... Never go camping with me ever. I feel like I'm gonna end up carrying you on my back like Yoda. Like, how are you this incompetent? Like, how does this happen? How do you make it through life? Like, I know streets that are steeper than that over there. Do you sprain your ankle walking up those? Or do you have to, like, ride the trolley? Like, you had to ride the trolley all the way up the hill every single time you want to go anywhere. This guy, I swear, this guy. Developers, please remove spraining of ankles, or at least tune it down to where it can't happen like 14 times in one day. Make it like actually related to some activity other than walking downhill or uphill, because there's a lot of uphill and downhill walking. There's a lot. So it needs to be related to like either sprinting uphill or sprinting downhill or just like anything other than like normal walking, because right now I looked at the forums and everybody seems to agree with me that there is no way to avoid spraining your ankle in the game right now. You're just going to. And most people said that once they ran out of painkillers on their map, they basically just spent the rest of the game with a sprained ankle because it's impossible to do anything. We've already got a sprained ankle, so I'm not even going to care about this. I'm just going to fall down the mountain. Ah! I'm going to laugh when it's like double sprain. Triple sprain. Super sprain. Your leg just falls off. Just falls over sideways. No! I need that. I need that. That can't... It fell off. I didn't even know that was possible. It's not bleeding. That's weird. Why is there just like a concavity here with a connection point that's not bleeding? Ooh. That is horrific. I don't even want to look at that anymore. It's making me feel a little bit nervous. Yikes. Well, I'm going to walk down to the cabin down here. And I think that just about wraps up our final episode of The Long Dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep playing the game on my own, I think. But what I'll do is I'll give you guys an update just to let you know how far I made it. Maybe I'll post it on Facebook. Maybe I'll post it on Twitter. Maybe I'll just do like a quick 45-second video or something to give you the splash screen for how long I last. I'm thinking right now it's probably going to be somewhere around 45 days, give or take. Like 5 days or so, between 40 and 50 days. I don't know if I'm going to make it the maximum amount of time, but I'm definitely going to last a little while longer. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in this series of The Long Dark. I look forward to seeing you all in future series. Take care out there, everybody, and it's been fun. I do.